I just want to make it clear, this is not a repeat episode. This is not Groundhog Day. It might feel that way. But what we now have is likely a third indictment coming down for President Trump. He got the target letter. He let everyone know this morning on Sunday evening. The target letter, which this went out of D.C., it's Special Counsel Jack Smith. This would be related to January 6th. We don't have more specifics than that right now. You can only kind of speculate, well, is it about electors? Is it about the actual speech on January 6th? What about the fact that we already had this entire investigation by Congress that found no ties to President Trump in any illegal activity? It's just they don't like the way he talks.
When people say that this is an unprecedented action, yes, it is. And it's unprecedented in the sense that one after the other, they are throwing these nails in the coffin of our democracy, lobbying these charges, throwing everything but the kitchen sink at the former president of the United States, as you said, who is the major opponent, political opponent, running against the sitting president of the United States in this active and upcoming campaign and election. It's something that, we read about not only in history books, but we see happening by tyrants or dictators in other countries. But this is happening right here in the United States of America.
Right now, we don't have the actual indictment yet. But what we know that's been looked at is, things around January 6th, not necessarily the what occurred at the Capitol, but potentially. Maybe also just some of the what President Trump was saying. They're even saying they're looking at like some of the fundraising he was doing, opposing some of the election results. So there's already talk that a lot of this is going to become a constitutional issue between how much of this was protected political speech by President Trump and how much of it is actually something you could charge criminally.
President Trump also has protected speech here, and that speech has to be protected for not only him, but for every one of us who seek to disagree with the system that came out in the election that came out. If you don't feel it's right, you can say that. So I don't know exactly where Jack Smith is going with this, but he's treading on very, very treacherous waters, very difficult waters when you're involving free speech in the First Amendment.
This one specifically, is raising a lot of eyebrows because it's likely that most of whatever this charge ends up being is going to be related to speech. It's not going to be related to some conspiracy because no one found anything like that. There's been lots of investigations there. But this is going to be like, we don't like this kind of political speech, so we are going to criminalize it in the United States of America. And if this can be done to someone as high profile as a former president, it can be done to any of us.
The tactics that they are using against the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, right now are tactics that they can and are using against Americans, people who are saying things that they don't like, people who dare to challenge their authority. And these tactics are reminiscent of Stalin's former chief of secret police, when he said, "Show me the man and I'll show you the crime." So they are trying every single thing that they can possibly find to charge President Trump with, because in their minds, he's guilty. He's guilty no matter what. They don't care about the rule of law. They don't care about a fair and equal justice system. They don't care about upholding and protecting our democracy so that people can actually have faith and trust in these institutions that are supposed to be serving the interests of the American people. All they care about is their power, and they're willing to destroy anything and everything that they feel they must to accomplish that objective of holding on to and gaining more power. And that means not only the destruction of Donald Trump, this is about something much bigger than one person. This is about our country. It's about our democracy. And we've got an election just over 1 year away that will be very, very critical given all of the things that we are seeing.
So he's got New York. He's been indicted in the state there. He's been indicted federally in Florida. Now he likely will be indicted federally in Washington, D.C., and people are expecting him to be indicted back in state court in Georgia. So he could be arrested and arraigned 4 times before we even get to the primary votes.